Good morning, everyone. It's 11 o'clock here. It's really hard to call this morning.
You could say good evening too, depending on what time the viewers are watching this.
This is true. Anyway, good morning and welcome to another episode of Dreams Unveiled. This is part 2 of lucid dreaming. Last week we talked about what lucid dreams are, what are some of the benefits, which we'll do a quick highlight over. And today we're going to talk about some techniques that may really help you to lucid dream. Today, Bill, I gave him material participation in the discussion, so he's my co-host proper now. So really happy to have him. He does have notes, but that's okay. I use notes too. It's not like I don't. Are you ready, Bill?
Yes.
All right, so let's do a quick summary of last week. We started to talk about lucid dreaming. Lucid dreams are dreams that you're inside of a dream dreaming. So when you are in a dream and you're dreaming, that's a lucid dream. Lucid dreams are and this is fairly new research, are a whole entirely different state of consciousness than regular dreaming, than being awake or any other sleep state, and is more closely related to a hallucinogenic experience. A lot of times when you are having a lucid dream, you may not be able to control things, but there are ways that we're going to teach you that can help you to have more control over the dreams. It's very important. If you can do it, it can help you with your own personal growth when you can really have some control over how activities and events are playing out in your dreams. It helps your metacognition, which is how you thinking about thinking, and really can improve your own self-awareness of your mental health and may be very useful for your personal growth outside of the dream experience. So it can also help you to, if you have a lot of nightmares like I did when I was a child, can really help you to change the narrative in the dreams of the nightmares and make them less scary. Although up and coming, we're looking for people that have had some nightmares so we can really take away the scariness of those nightmares. So if you have, please don't hesitate to send me an email. We understand, I just want to say this, we're looking for people's dreams to talk about on the show. We thought it would be so easy for people to share this information, but obviously dreams are very, very personal. So a lot of times, and I've addressed this in one of the Q&As, we have people that want to share their dreams, but they have to be very specific because of other people presented in the dreams, or if there are issues in a family, they don't want that necessarily aired, and they may be really obvious through the interpretation. So we want to offer that you can actually participate by Zoom, have your voice changed, and I will have a co-host. Nobody needs to see who you are, and it could be completely anonymous. So we're working on different ways to do that for people to feel safe so they can share their dreams. But really particularly interested in nightmares, and how I got over my nightmares is learning how to interpret dreams and really having an understanding of things. So lucid dreaming can be helpful with that as well. Bill sometimes has lucid dreams, so he's a good co-host for this, and I'm married to him, and he does all the editing, so that makes him a really great co-host. So we talked last week about 2 very simple techniques that you can use. One of them is just clearly having a dream journal. Telling yourself before you go to bed, let me wake up if I dream so I can write it down. We talked about writing it down, could be just recording it on your phone. If you're lazy like me and I'm not pulling out a pen and paper and recording your whole dream. However you need to do that. I will caution you, if you're writing down just keywords to help you remember, you still may not remember. So I would really do whatever you can to record it in as much detail as possible. because your waking mind may not have access to the same information that your dreaming mind did. It's a whole different part of your brain being used. So that may be a thing. The other thing that we talked about is doing reality checks, which I'm going to start doing just because it really sounds like a fun thing to do during the day. This takes time, because what you're doing is actually committing things to memory in your waking time so that it can hopefully carry over into your sleeping time. Because remember, in dreams, your memory center of your brain is very well used for dreams. So really important. So reality checking, we talked about checking your image in a mirror, telling yourself or asking yourself, am I dreaming or not? So that carries over in the dream. So like, for instance, during the day, I'll be out working or gardening, and if I were just to say, am I dreaming right now? And looking around at my environment, I mean, this is going to be fun. I'm truly going to enjoy this kind of thing. Then when I'm in a dream, I will have a better opportunity to do that and say, am I dreaming right now? Looking for distortions or imagery that you would only see in dreams. So one of the things in reality you can do is check in the mirror to see if your image is the same. You can count your fingers. And if you do this several times a day for many days, this will start to really get ingrained as part of your habit. And you can use it in the lucid dreaming. This sounds so matrixy, doesn't it? I'm genuinely really appreciative of this. I've been not remembering my dreams, not really trying to, but I started to tell myself and to remember my dreams, and it is helping already just after the first few times of doing it. So I think that's pretty cool. You could check time or check clocks in dreams. That's another thing you could do. There's all different kinds of things you could do. You could try and put your hand through a wall, not through punching in anger, but just to see if it goes through a solid object of any kind, and do that during the waking time, and just practice it so it seems like a natural thing to practice in a dream. You know, there are all kinds of things that you can do. Are you going to start doing this too when you're in the truck driving? You're going to start putting your hand through the windshield?
I already did that.
Are you joking?
No. I had an issue
you
over
did
the
do that.
wintertime.
He
where
really did
the
that.
windshield broke.
Yep. Okay.
That was fun.
Yep. I forgot about that. I
Costly mistake.
It sure was. Here's one I'm going to encourage you to try, because tell me this wouldn't be fun. Just throughout your day, check and see if you can levitate. That might be dangerous.
I just tried it. Didn't work.
So check to see if you can levitate. Any of these things that you're checking for in the dream, you could actually make happen after they become ingrained as part of your daily memory. So I just think that would just be so much fun. Just, we're stressed, everything's crazy during our waking time. How cool would it be, we take the dog out and you're like, I wonder if I can levitate right now. I'm going to check to see if I can levitate. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, most of the time during the day, I know that I'm awake.
I understand that. You're trying to commit habits to memory, though.
Okay.
Most everybody in their waking time knows they're awake.
Right.
Actually, I can't say everybody. I'm not going to. Yeah. So here's Bill going, I'm not going to try that because I can't levitate in my waking time. Bill, where's your faith? You have, the idea is practice during the waking time so it gets committed to memory so you can use it in the dream. Does that make better sense?
Yep.
Okay. So I know we went over that, but I really encourage you to try levitating, putting your hand through things, looking in the mirror and seeing if your face looks the same, any of that kind of thing during your waking time so that you can use these tests. The idea is use the test in the dream, and then you're dreaming, and then you can start really maybe having some control or writing some of that dream narrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I love that. I love this and love it. Here's another technique. It's called Wake Back to Bed, WBTB. It's actually quite simple. Uh, you simply set your alarm for 5 or 6 hours into the future. The reason you do that is because 5 to 6 hours into the future would be about your best REM cycle, or a good opportunity to catch your best REM cycle. And then you wake up for 30 minutes and you do something very quiet, just chilling for 30 minutes, and then you go back to bed. What that can do is increase your chance of having a lucid dream. I will tell you, I will probably not try this, only because I am a big fan of sleep as a counselor, and it's really hard for me to not get enough sleep. Actually, I might try it on a weekend. I would do that. I would try it on a weekend. I definitely wouldn't try it on a work week. I'm too afraid I won't be able to go back to sleep. So that's just my thought. Would you be able to go back to sleep if you woke up for 30 minutes?
Most of the time, yeah.
So that is just the whole technique right there. I don't recommend it if you can't go back to sleep. I don't think that's very helpful, because sleep is really important. I mean, dreaming is healing. Sleep is healing in general. So everything that happens throughout sleep is healing, is processing. So we don't give that up. But if you can fall back to sleep pretty easily, or don't have huge demands when you wake up, that, try this a couple times, see if it helps. The other thing I would say is that all the practice you do in your waking hours, you don't have to continually do some of this stuff. Once it's committed to your memory, you may find that you're just going to be lucid dreaming. Especially, and I said this last week, if you have good dream recall. Dream recall definitely helps you to lucid dream better, which probably is why I'm not having so many lucid dreams, but you have a higher likelihood. So Bill's going to talk to you about mild. Mild's probably one of the most elaborate techniques. These are all the techniques. There's one more wild. We're not going to discuss that one today, but Bill is going to tell us about mnemonic induction of lucid dreams.
Okay, yeah, and that mnemonic, I would normally say, if I was saying pneumatic, it starts with a P, but it starts with an M-N-E.
Mnemonic.
M-O-N-I-C. Induction of lucid dreams. And it was one of the first methods that used scientific research to induce lucid dreams.
And I want to just say that we talked last week about Stephen LaBerge and his research exploring lucid dreaming, and this is one of the techniques he developed.
We haven't met him in person.
Love to pick his brain though.
So mild is based on a behavior called prospective memory, which involves setting an intention to do something later.
Okay. So what does that mean exactly?
Do you want me to just describe it?
Yeah.
Okay. As you fall asleep, you think of a recent dream and identify a dream sign or something that's irregular or strange in the dream. An example is the ability to fly.
Mm-hmm. Which you do in dreams frequently.
Yeah. Think about returning to the dream. Acknowledge that the dream sign only happens when you dream.
Okay. And I'm going to stop you there because the two things right now that Bill can do pretty well at will are going back into his dreams. He does that pretty easily, except the other morning I did have to wake him up. He was like up there forever, and he's like, I'm trying to go back to sleep in my dream. And then I'm like, is that for real, Bill, or are you like scrolling? But anyway, this idea of the dream sign, much like the reality check or anything else, while you're in this waking place, you are giving your memory some instruction, your mind instruction that can carry over into the dream time. So you're telling yourself, The sign I have is flying. If I'm flying, I'm dreaming, right? You're pairing that together. If I'm flying, I'm dreaming. So in your waking time, you're going to say that. That's your dream sign. You can call that just about anything you want. It could be, a dream trigger or whatever, but nonetheless, that is a sign that you are dreaming. My sign that I would dream, if I look at all the times I dream, would be I'm in a different house. That pretty much, I know if my house has changed, I'm dreaming, which is a frequent dream. So here you are, and you have the sign in a dream, and if you see yourself flying, you can tell yourself, I'm dreaming, when you go back into it. Okay, sorry.
Okay, and then, so that's basically it. You tell yourself, the next time I dream, I want to remember that I'm dreaming, and recite the phrase in your head.
One of the things that is very important about this is that it is helping you, or you are needing to recall a dream that you've already had, or maybe a reoccurring dream. And what you want to do is keep some kind of a written thing of dreams so that you can really, while you're still awake, go through a dream that you want to have again, and hopefully have a lucid dream experience in the dream. So keep that journal. I will be actually creating dream journals that I will make available to people, that if they want to do the handwritten dream. I really would be more inclined if there was an app or something to do that. I'm a big fan of apps and voice texting. So I love challenging people to understand what I'm trying to say. My voice texts. But, give this a thought. And as I'm doing this, as I'm talking about this, I have a reoccurring dream that I have not had for a long time, and I really want to have it again. And it really is about that there is this place that I found, and it is just beautiful. It's water. It's a place to go swimming. It's a swimming hole, but it is just looks like a paradise, and it's got these beautiful clear blue waters and waterfalls, and it's just peaceful and serene and all of that. So I have many dreams where I'm trying to get to this place, and I am delayed. I can't find it. Most of the time I can't find it. So I think I would love to be able to re-enter that dream and get to that place. That would be very cool. But I want you to think about practical applications to this. If you can have some control in that stuff, we already know dreams help to strengthen your emotional memory, and you can turn dreams into a way to really grow and heal. That's pretty amazing. I think I'm in.
All right.
I just have to start remembering my dreams. All right, Bill, do you have anything to add?
I do not currently. No, that was my whole
That was your spiel, right? I just want to really encourage you, please, if you have a dream that you would like interpreted, there is no cost to this if you're doing it on the podcast. Please get a hold of me. My email is the word dreams at dawnw.com, DAUNW.com, dreams at DAUNW.com. I really encourage you to give us a call or send me an email, and I'll get a hold of you, and we can work through whatever you need to. On my website, on the dreams link, there is a form you can download and just fill it. It's a fillable PDF if you want to record the dream that you want to share that way, and just email the form to me. However you wish to do this, we're not that picky. You could just send me an email. But we want to hear about your dreams. We want to be able to help you make the most of your dream life. I'm a counselor, and I love to see people healed and well, and really having joy and peace in their life, and really having great success. So with all of that, I hope you have really sweet dreams, and thank you for joining us.
Like and subscribe.